Are you by any chance a guy and lately you've been feeling pain in your stomach? Well, I don't know what you're waiting for. Call your doctor because your spermatic canal might be choking your testicles and preventing blood from circulating into them. Now, let me tell you a story, my personal story about when I had a testicular torsion. It all started back in 2016. I have a double nationality. I'm both Czech and Canadian, and at that time we were living in Czech Republic. It was around summertime, and as we were about to leave, me and my family, back to Canada for the summer break. Yes, I was pretty young at that time, maybe 10 years old. My parents usually do the strategy where they look for the cheapest plane tickets to go somewhere, and to go back to Canada they had found cheap plane tickets going from Zurich in Switzerland. So as we were preparing for a road trip, I was at my friend's place and we were playing in the sandbox, and all of a sudden my nuts started hurting. I told my parents, but they didn't take it as such a big deal, and well, I had to live through a 7-hour road trip with pain in my sack. And when we got to Zurich, they finally said, okay, we're going to the hospital. So we spent about 2 hours there waiting, just for the doctors to tell us that nothing was going on. Since then, well, everything's been normal until about 2018. I was in class, high school already? No, not high school. Secondary, I don't know how to call it from where I was. So I'm in science class, and all of a sudden my tennis balls start hurting again. So now I'm telling the teacher that I want to leave, but she was kind of snobbish, and she was trying to force out why I wanted to leave. And then I kept giving subtle hints. Oh no, something hurts, something doesn't feel right. And she wouldn't let me go until I got up and said my balls. So she sends me to the principal's office with a girl. She's kind of mocking me, but I'm really in agonizing pain. Then she starts to comfort me, right? So shout out to her, to be honest. One of the only people at that time that wasn't part of my family that actually showed empathy for my weak ass back in the day. So the principal calls my parents and we go to the hospital, and this time they tell us, yeah, you might have future problems, but they don't tell me what. Fast forward to 3 years later. I'm an athlete and it's a team sport, so we have a game 4 hours away from where our team is based in. We take the bus, 4-hour ride. It's pretty long, especially for a young me. Now this is end of 2020, so 3 years after the previous incident. So we're chilling on the bus, playing Among Us, because who didn't play Among Us back in the day, especially when you had teammates. And just like any other sports team, we take a little break about halfway through the trip, and that's when my stomach starts to hurt. Not my balls, my stomach. I go on a walk with 2 other teammates, try to see if I could just walk it off, but it doesn't work. Back on the bus, I try playing some more Among Us, but I just can't. I'm just curled up. Now we show up to the place, 4 hours away from home, and I turn pale. I start vomiting. I can't warm up. While my team is outside playing sewer ball, I'm just in the dressing room. The coaches don't even care like what's going on with me. So I'm sitting in the corner of the bathroom, and then I hear they figure out how to work the speakers. So they're just blasting their music while I'm fighting for my life. And that's when the trainer ends up calling the ambulance. And the place where we were playing was pretty isolated. So it took an hour for the ambulance to come. I'm waiting with the trainer on the side of the road, on the floor. Then the ambulance finally shows up and they start asking questions. Now the problem is, the hospital was in a region where they didn't speak the same language. So they're asking me questions in a foreign language. The trainer has no clue. He doesn't even speak the language that I was speaking. So we had 3 language barriers just trying to understand each other. So the only person that I know that speaks the same language as the ambulance people is my dad. So we call him, except that he doesn't really speak it. He was just learning it at the time because he wanted to work in the region where we were playing the game. So he's just speaking in keywords through the phone. The trainer is just out there panicking. I'm in agonizing pain, and my mom finds out. She takes the car from home and gets like 3 speeding tickets just to show up and be by my side because she didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. How about I just shout out to mothers, man. I'm gonna branch out. Like, they're great. The only people that love you unconditionally. I don't know if it's a hormonal thing, but I don't know. Like, since birth, even before, they're taking care of you. And when you're an adult and you come crawling back, they're happier than ever to just have you by their side. Man, if you haven't spoken to your mom in a while, just reach out, give her a hug, hang out with her. It's Christmas time, build a gingerbread house with her. I'm sure it'll make her happy, and it's the least you can do in return. So I show up to the hospital, and I'm vomiting, right? And mind you, again, it's not, I'm talking about torsions, but it wasn't in my balls, it was in my stomach. And the doctors just take me in for an emergency ultrasound. The guy takes one look and he's like, yep, surgery. I am terrified of surgeries. I've had 2 in my life, both in the same region down there. I'm gonna have a 3rd in 2 weeks due to a sports injury, which is also down there. I'm like, I start crying. I'm like, no, this can't be happening. I don't know, I'm scared of everything. Plus, there's good doctors in my country. Like, I don't know why I was scared. So I'm trying to say, no. Yeah, he's like, yeah, we gotta do it. Then he starts explaining, it's a torsion. Alright. I don't know what it is at the time. He just explains that canals are just choking my balls. And I was about 30 minutes away from losing him. Because the torsion started when we were on the bus going to the game. You have like 4 to 6 hours before losing it permanently. So I was really lucky. The fact that the hospital was also an hour away from where we had called the ambulance miracle, man, and shout out to the doctors too. So I'm on the bed. They're about to perform surgery on my Golden Globes, and my lazy teenager self hadn't shaved down there either. So they were just gonna have to jungle it out with machetes, just cutting leaves trying to get there. My mom shows up about 5 minutes before anesthesia. So she's like, oh, you're comforting me, I'm crying, right? Like, and plus, it was kind of a tough season already. COVID, less games, coach hated my guts. I know it's a boring excuse, but hey, I was working hard, alright? So then I do the traditional, no, the anesthesia isn't gonna knock me out, but then it does. It went by pretty quickly, honestly. I woke up the second after I fell asleep. That's what it felt like. Just a 1 second blackout. But the thing is, I couldn't walk. And I had to stay in the hospital till I had urinated. So just drinking water, and then doctors come in, explain the basic things. Yeah, you can't wash for a couple days. Avoid pleasuring yourself because that's what teenagers do. I was 14. And I also find out something pretty funny. During our game, one of my teammates got his arm broken and ended up in the same hospital as me. But because of COVID, we couldn't see each other. So that kind of sucked. So I get out of the hospital with my mom. We drive back home, and I'm out for 2 weeks. I can't walk. I just have to stay in bed all day. It sucks. I did post a story on Instagram of myself in the hospital bed. So many girls just texted me. It's a cheat code. What was also like kind of sad, when I was in the ambulance, I noticed I get a message from another girl just confessing her feelings for me, and I was just in pain, man. I didn't have time to read that Master Wu ancient scroll type paragraph, man. And I didn't touch my phone after surgery either, so I had left her undelivered for 30 hours. Then she texts me like, oh yeah, you're an asshole, and oh, I'm so sorry, man. And when you're injured, you kind of people are pity towards you, so I managed to ask my mom for a Lego set, the Poe Dameron's X-Wing. Yeah, it's a sequel set, but still, it's cool, you know. The first practice I had to show up to, the coach just hates me. Before the 2 weeks of rest, he asked me to coach practices. I show up and teammates just start laughing at me, calling me monotesticle, stealing my hat and running away when I was taking one step every 5 seconds. Since then, I've been called monotesticle. Now, the funniest thing in all of this isn't being called names, isn't that I had to go 4 hours away from home to just end up 5 hours away from home, go to the hospital for emergency surgery. No, it's that this year I got a scholarship at the university from the region of the team of the hospital. So now I play for the team I was supposed to play against that game, and the team put me in an apartment that's like a 1 minute walk away from the venue, from the street where I was laying down. They changed venues, they tore down the old one, but it's just crazy. Every time I have to go to the train station, I walk by where I was just crying and puke. So guys, please, if you ever feel agonizing pain in the stomach or in the balls, just consult it, especially if you have free health insurance. The worst that can happen is just they tell you there's nothing and you just go on with your day because they're professional. No one can judge you. But if there is something, I'd be glad that I was of help. Although these things seem funny, they do tend to happen often, and I just want everybody to be alright.